Good afternoon. This is Jason LaBarge. This is our podcast, Financially Speaking. I want to welcome all of you. Today we're joined by Lily. Good afternoon. We're going to jump into several topics today. And some of you know us, some of you don't. We are a retirement planning firm. I'm President CEO. Lily's one of our financial professionals. And we like to spend these episodes talking about a variety of topics. And today we're going to dive into inflation. I went to a Ravens game a couple weeks ago, and I was shocked at the price of the ticket.
Yeah.
But really the parking, the food,
Everything.
it was ridiculous. And to see how the average Marylander pays for that, particularly when the team isn't playing well,
Right.
it's shocking.
Yeah. Hopefully Lamar's back this weekend or next weekend, and we'll have to see what the outcome is of the season, because that's tough anyways. But if you're someone who bought tickets months ago for your family, you're still going, the season's not great, and then it ends up being one of the most expensive days of the month or even the year. It's crazy to imagine what...
Especially with the ongoing shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the exact amount of Marylanders that work for the federal government. It's a big number.
I don't know either. I should look at it.
But they're not getting paid. Team's not playing well.
Right.
To think about the ongoing costs of just to simply, I have 5 kids, to bring your family to a game, to pay the $100 it takes to park.
Right.
How much is even a ticket? Do you remember how much is like
Probably
a lower level ticket?
At least $200. It's for the season ticket holder, but if you're trying to buy it on, Ticketmaster or one of those websites, it's at least $300, $400.
Yeah, and granted, we're not the Cleveland Browns.
That's true. Yeah, that's
we're
true.
not, some of these other teams that historically been bad.
Although the Browns are good this year.
Yeah, but Bashadi's been a good owner.
Yeah.
Harbaugh's a good coach. Interestingly, I'm from the Midwest originally, and I grew up where there was no team. And so we had to, watch teams that seemed far away. I've never had a hometown team, so I'm trying to get my kids into the Ravens.
Although you still have a Chiefs fan.
I got a Chiefs fan. So my oldest was a Chiefs fan, Mahomes fan. I've converted him.
Yeah.
My second son is a Bengals fan for whatever reason, but I think I'll convert him.
Yeah.
Third one, though, I think he might be a lost cause.
I think he is too.
He loves the Chiefs. And interestingly, we actually went to the Arrowhead month or so ago, and that stadium was incredible. But God, it was $150 to park. It was $30 for
a drink,
like a chicken sandwich.
Oh yeah,
like a barbecue sandwich.
Yeah.
Hello.
No, it's insane.
How people afford, and so when we think about what we do, and as that relates to inflation, I always tell clients, like, what are we doing this for?
Right.
Every 2 weeks, we're putting money away. Hopefully, you're getting a company match. What are you doing this for? And most of the clients, they don't even know.
They don't even know what it is.
For savings.
Yeah.
But really, at the end of the day, it's to keep up with inflation.
Yeah, it is. And I feel like in general, trying to keep up with inflation is probably the biggest question of how to do so.
Yeah.
So, that's one of the main things that's just always going to keep increasing.
Yeah.
You're never going to really see it go down for a long period of time. And even if it does, it's going to come back twice as much the next few years.
And if we think about why that is, I think it's important for us to demonstrate why that is. So when we think about the most powerful organization on the planet, at our seminars, we'll always ask this, before our government can, print the money, they've got to borrow it. And they borrow it from a very powerful group called the Federal Reserve, which I always joke is, they're the Federal Reserve Bank, but they're neither federal, nor are they a reserve, nor are they a bank, but they have a monopoly on the currency in our system.
Right.
And because of that, there's nobody competing. And as a result, we see crazy inflation. And if we had a graph, there's only a few things in life that's a straight increasing line.
Besides your age, I guess.
Age too, yeah. Your weight.
Maybe your weight.
Somebody said
that's always the best to see what answers come out.
And so, one of the only things that's kept up with that, is the stock market.
Right.
But the stock market isn't a straight increasing line.
No, It is
What does it
not.
do?
So you'll see, usually when we show this in a room or if we're together, if we got a board behind us, we probably should do at some point too.
Yeah, we probably should.
Is that it's never going to be a straight increasing line. You're going to see a lot of fluctuation. And again, that goes back to why we have our balance of red money and green money. But over time, you're going to see huge swings. You're going to see minor swings. I feel like we're more into a pattern now where, if anything, we see large increases or large decreases in the market when it comes to either a correction, which, we're looking for the next one as we're at all-time highs still.
And all kinds of things, not just equities. You're looking at
everything.
gold. And so when you see those all-time highs, that's where we're achieving what we're trying to do in terms of beating inflation, but not always going to happen. And even though we may be with our portfolio keeping up with inflation, we still have to use that money. We still have to figure out the best way to maximize it because the cost of goods are still increasing.
I think we saw it was up like maybe 20% in general when we're looking at Ravens tickets and parking and food and just groceries across the board. Everyone sees it everywhere.
But it's not the cost of those goods going up. It's not, wages don't go up in that same fashion. The cost of goods to make those widgets don't go up. What it really is the value of the dollar it takes to buy those is decreasing because they're producing so much of it.
Right.
And that's why we've seen the proliferation of the popularity of things like crypto. People wanted to have an alternative or a competitor to the US dollar.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the U.S. dollar having its strength within the broader, global economy is important. It's what allows us to maintain the power that we have. But from a micro level, keeping that buying power up has never been more important because it's not just about Ravens tickets, food.
No, it's everything.
Gasoline.
Yeah, and especially with just the normal cost of living adjustments, never going to keep up with the increases that we're seeing.
When you started driving, how many years ago was that? Do you think?
I guess like 8 or 9.
So do you remember what gas was?
Probably.
I guess it wouldn't have been that big.
I don't know. I guess it was, but it was definitely cheap. Like it was like 2 something.
I remember it being. I'm older than you. I think it was like
a little
bit. How am I? 15 years? Am I 15 years older?
I'm 25. How old are you? 40.
42. Jeez.
17.
My brother is 5 years older than me. He's 47.
He's getting up there.
47. But when I started driving, I think it was $1.25. I think gasoline was $1.25.
That's insane. Because more so for me, it's like, how much does it cost to fill my tank? To have the same car.
I suppose.
And I've seen that fluctuate. Yeah, I've had the same car.
What's the most you've seen it?
So when I was in Boston, there was a lot of, like, probably at least 5 to 10 times that it was at least 120.
Oh, yeah, because you got to buy the premium, too.
Well, and normally it's the 20, I can do like a 22 gallon. So it's a lot of gas that's going into it. But even now it's down to like 80. So it's insane.
Yeah. So when you think about food, and all of that, so really what that makes me think about is how important it is what we do and the value that we provide our clients at the end of the day so they can feel comfortable knowing that, hey, today I'm 65.
Right.
20 years I'll be 85. I'm going to have enough, money in the bucket.
That you have your war chest there.
You have your war chest, yeah.
What's the war chest for those that might not know?
So we split money up into 2 buckets. I feel like I could say red money, green money in my sleep.
Same.
But we derive our income from green, and that's going to come from guaranteed sources like Social Security, pension, annuity payments. And what we want is for that to be enough to pay your basic bills. But then the red money left over is what we call our war chest, because you need a bucket of money in place to fight the battles it requires to live life.
Exactly.
So, I don't even know where we came up with war chest. I think it just kind of...
Yeah, but it flows. It works.
And so the war chest is where we invest in things like stocks, mutual funds. And I think it's important to note that our red money, we know going into it, we're going to have upside and we're going to have downside.
Right.
And when the instances when the market's down, knowing that hopefully that's not going to last forever.
Right.
But when a market's up like now, there's always a feeling that it's going to go down. But we got some good information last night.
We
Remember
did.
what Joe said?
Joe was saying that against everything else we're seeing in the news and all of the, unnecessary kind of risks and, everything else that we see with kind of causing stress in the market and uncertainty is more so what I'm trying to say, that there's actually some positivity when you look at historicals with where the dollar's at and where interest rates are going. 18 months from now, when you look at history, we should be at all-time highs again. And
is that what it was? So like if in August, September, October, if the market hits all-time highs,
it was market hitting all-time highs alongside with the interest rates coming down.
Oh, so that was the piece I was missing.
The cost of the dollar coming down too. All three of those
happening at once.
Something along those lines.
18 months later, we're at all-time highs.
Yeah. And so that's,
that's positive.
Positive for those that are seeing all negative in the news. Just to jump back on red money, green money, I forgot to tell you earlier, we had somebody in today who we've been offering transportation, of course, if they need a ride. And they asked, is that going to affect my red money or my green money bucket? So they came in today. They didn't need a ride. They still drove, but
that's funny.
They just mentioned it, which is cool to see that it really does hit home because it's easy to comprehend.
We, what's his name? Will Gadara wrote Unreasonable Hospitality, which is a book that focuses a lot on the restaurant industry, but it really is this idea of differentiation. How do you set yourself up from your competition? On our block alone, we have 3 financial advisors. And how you separate yourself. And one of those things these restaurants do is they ask their patrons, "Do you need transportation to your dinner?" And most of them say no. But so we started doing that.
I wonder where that came from, though. It was a great idea, but he's full of a million. So I'm like, you got to come from somewhere.
I steal them. Every good idea has been stolen from somewhere else. And so Gadara actually has a lot of other things that I want to do in there. But that was, I think, the first one that was easily implemented. But it's the red money, green money approach, I think, has been instrumental, not only for our firm, but all of our clients too. For clients to ask that, is that my red money? Is that my green money? And then to understand when we have all-time highs, because there's a lot of discussion around, a market pullback. And anytime you're up as much as you are,
there's going to be conversations.
It's logical to think that. But then these talking heads don't actually manage any money, so it's really easy for them to sit up there and say, "Oh, big catastrophe's coming." At some point, they're going to be right. Like they're not. And so our job is much more trickier in the sense. Okay, well, if we anticipate something like that, do we take action today? Do we not? Where for most of our clients, you can't time it. But I was telling a client today, we're already preparing for it. That's why we use green money. That's why we use the buffered products. That's why we use That's
why we set up the
municipal
plan
bonds
to start.
And so we've already set that aside. But another piece of positive news that I've been thinking about, when you think about a new piece of technology, AI, there's a life cycle. And what we've seen with AI initially is the nuts and bolts, the companies that make the widgets that comprise AI, or in this case, NVIDIA or Broadcom, they make Taiwan Semiconductor. They make the goods that create the AI, and that's the first wave of market uptick. After that is the application. Okay, we find companies like Palantir, Microsoft, CoreWeave. They have found ways to take the AI and implement it in the real world. That's the next wave. I think we're just getting started with that. The next wave after that is the monetization, the commercialization. When you think about Facebook, even when you came out, or when you first started using it, certainly when I first started, or when it first came out, it was not commercial. It was, I always like to joke, it was the good old days when they stole your information. They weren't trying to sell you out, they just stole your info.
It is true though, like when we first created those accounts, there was no ads. There was no ads.
They weren't, trying to sell you something because they were stealing your info. Same with Google. Same with the internet. When the internet first started, it was in its purest form. ChatGPT today, there is no commercialization.
I have not even thought about that.
There is no sponsored response from ChatGPT, but there will be. They will monetize it, which is the next wave after application. So when you think about that, yes, we're going to have pullbacks, but I don't know that we're going to have a major long-term pullback
Well, there's
AI
just
is
so
still going
much
through.
growth happening. And
Yeah.
I think
And that's
even
still gonna happen.
alongside that, it's like the energy that all these energy companies are going to be using to implement all of
Yes.
the AI and the
Yep.
technology.
Yep.
And I think that there's been
Yep.
some crazy studies on what just one question in ChatGPT uses energy-wise too. And I don't know if you've seen some
I
of
have
those,
not
but
seen it. It's
it's
crazy.
something to do with like, an X amount of water bottles, and I don't know the numbers,
Sure.
but it's like
It's ridiculous.
mind-blowing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just at the beginning, like you said, just like when Facebook started or when Google started. And I mean, it's amazing because, you get a response like that. And you do have
and
to
the
fact
water
check
bottles.
it sometimes, but
So
it's crazy.
the water bottle,
Like,
so every
it was
chat
like-
GPT you use
Yeah, like let's just say it was like
is a
20,000 water
is a
bottles
water
or
bottle.
something, but I could
No,
be
well,
way
think about
off.
the data centers. They're building data centers like crazy,
Yeah,
and the water
exactly.
required.
And that's probably why it was water bottles.
Yeah, because
Yep,
they
exactly.
cool it,
Yep.
and so yeah, it's fascinating when
It
you
is.
think that like energy is saving in one area, then it's
Right.
being used, and
Right.
we stopped using gasoline as much
Yeah.
with electric cars, but then AI went to using whether it's water or other
Yeah.
energy. I mean, I think about how much coffee I drink, which isn't a lot. People think I drink like 8
That's true.
cans
They
of
do
these.
think you
I
drink
don't.
all of them. You just like a fresh one.
I'm a sipper.
Yeah.
But you think about even a latte.
Yeah.
That thing costs maybe over $4
Yeah.
for a large,
At least.
which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started getting them, they were smalls,
Yeah.
tall, but it was like $1.72.
Wow.
And so now and going through the drive-through at Starbucks, I'll kind of keep a tally on like
How much it
Yes,
costs. Well, when I
yes,
started,
yes.
I used to get your coffee, buy the 2 venti vanilla lattes, and I want to say it was maybe like $9 to $10,
now it's like
and
13.
now it's like 13 to
Now it's like
14.
13.
And it's just with my few years of buying them,
Totally.
it's crazy to see the difference.
I'm not a cheap guy by any stretch, but I also don't. I'm not a crazy spender. That is one thing I am frivolous on, though.
Yeah. Well, if you have one thing, coffee,
That's it.
it's okay.
One vice. I've had. I love it.
Yeah.
It's and what's great about Starbucks. This is a side. Anna Lou and I were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
You can have a venti vanilla latte in Severna Park, Maryland, in Rapid City, South Dakota, in Paris, France, in Mexico City.
Yeah.
They taste the same.
No, I agree.
That's what's
I totally agree.
amazing about it. You go to any other store and you get a different taste.
And it's just different. Yeah.
And so I'm not a McDonald's guy. I'm not a fast food guy. I'm not at all. In fact, I don't even remember the last time. Do you eat McDonald's ever?
No.
And I'm not even trying to be an elitist.
No,
I'm not
but
trying,
like I do love Starbucks too.
but
So
I love it.
I get
That's
it.
my one thing.
Yeah. Chick-fil-A is up there on the list for me.
I don't eat. My kids love Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I don't eat it. I don't
Really.
know. But
Chicken.
I know.
He's the most basic Midwestern
I know.
food eater I know.
But that was funny last night when Andrew was like,
Meatballs
so
in
we're
the
at
coffee.
Cafe Mezzanotte. It was like, and it literally had a small plate of meatballs.
That's
a little
it.
bit of cheese.
Yeah.
And just like, oh, Lisa Meats is basic.
Yeah.
Meal. It was pretty
Yeah.
fun.
It was
But no, I
perfect.
think that when we think about inflation, the at the end of the day, when you think about what we do for a living,
Yeah.
and that's what we do. We exist to help our clients keep up with inflation.
Yeah.
That's kind of the cornerstone.
And because we want you to travel, we want you to be able
Yeah.
to do the things you want to do, and you
Yeah.
can't do that without, keeping up with what's around you.
Yes, and being able to buy the same basket of goods. And people talk about that standard of living and maintaining it.
Right.
It takes more.
It does take more.
To do that. So
Yeah.
that is our wrap for our episode today with Financially Speaking with Jason LaBarge. I want to thank Lily for joining us today.
Yes.
Thank you, Lily.
Thanks for having me.
And we look forward to our next episode. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business LaBarge Financial LLC. LaBarge Financial LLC is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through AE Wealth Management LLC, a registered investment advisor. AEWM does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by LaBarge Financial LLC are not subject to investment advisor or broker-dealer requirements. Securities offered only by duly registered individuals through Madison Avenue Securities LLC, member FINRA SIPC. AEWM and MAS are not affiliated companies of LaBarge Financial. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. LaBarge Financial is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein, provided by third parties, have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by LaBarge Financial.